Hello everyone and welcome back to a fresh, piping hot new episode of I Talk to Notebooks. Don't know why I always say it's fresh because I usually film these and record them in advance. So those are just words I'm saying. Inspiring words. They don't mean anything, but anyway, I'm Sarah and today we are doing another Journal With Me episode. Today I went all out because guess what? These are the last few pages of my journal number 21. I flew through it. It was one of the fastest journals I've ever completed, and I had a great time. And a lot of the reason that I completed it so quickly was because I have been in a decorating mood, and the more you decorate, the less you have to write. It is the oldest trick in the book. Probably not actually, but I'm going to say so, and you can't prove me wrong. So I wanted to address something awesome, which is that if you have subscribed to me in the last month, thank you. Thank you. I never thought that I would have 57 subscribers, 57 of course being my favorite number. I cannot believe it. I couldn't believe it when I was at 49 and I thought, man, 49, that's a good number. That's a good record right there. It's almost 50. I never thought I'd get this close to 50. And then up and over 50 we went. It was crazy. And I am so glad that you're subscribing because guess what that means? It means that there's content being made that you want to see. And so in honor of so many newcomers here, for which I am so grateful, I just wanted to let you guys know, those of you who are new, that I'm not just excited that you're here because I now have, crazy amounts of clout. I mean, I'm basically James Charles. I could start new trends. I could start a new world order, probably run for office and be successfully elected, have all kinds of scandals. But even more important than the money and the power is that it's a sign that I'm making content that people want to see. And that's not just an ego boost. I actually joined social media in the journaling community, that is, in 2019. And I did so initially because I wanted to share my stuff. I thought I was pretty darn cool, and I thought other people really deserve to see how cool I am. But as I continued in the journaling community, I lost steam. I had some technology troubles. I lost confidence. I kind of stopped posting for a while. There were several hiatuses. Actually, the plural of that in Latin would be hiati. So, get that right. But I had several of those and some long ones. And even when I wasn't posting, I would use my journaling YouTube and Instagram accounts constantly to consume other people's content because I found that two things happened when I was consuming other people's journaling content. Number one, I would get super inspired to journal more on my own. This is a hobby that you can sometimes feel kind of alone in it. It's not super popular. You might not even know someone in real life who does journal. I certainly don't. And so, you understand cognitively the benefits, but it can be hard to actually get the motivation and the inspiration to sit down and do it. And I follow so many great accounts that are inspiring in so many different and unique ways that there was always something to get me going. And when you journal, you feel better and so on and so forth. So it was just a kind of multiplying rewards. But the second reason is that when I'm feeling a little bit stressed out, when I'm feeling a little bit worked up, I like to log into my journaling accounts and instantly be calmed down by the sight of beautiful paper, beautiful decorations, creative minds at work, and just kind of that general calm energy that comes from the journaling community. Even though a lot of people are stressed and are dealing with mental health issues and are, journaling for a reason, not because they have empty minds, but there's a lot to write about and a lot of it can be negative. These people, I don't know if it's something about the hobby, and again, I don't want to sound like braggy or anything because I'm relatively new, but it seems like people who journal tend to have a better handle on their emotions and not to be quite so worked up. So I feel like that energy rubs off on me because I'm not quite at that point yet. I can get worked up still. I think everybody can at some point, but I'm still at a point where I'm not I don't have that zen that long-term journaling people have. So I just feel really calm by the colors, the pictures, and by the attitude and general emotions of people in the community, whether it's a video I'm watching or whether it is just an Instagram post that I am double tapping. So when I wanted to get back into posting, once I had the equipment and felt like I could actually start doing it again, I wanted to make content that really did the same for other people because the community is small, and I think that we're at a point where it's not just noise in the void, where people can really contribute a lot in their own unique ways to the community. So I wanted to create content that made people feel welcome, that made people feel inspired, not because my art is so great, but just because, hey, if I can do it, you certainly can do it. And just to feel relaxed and calm, and to feel like just better when they're on my Instagram page, if my post comes up in their feed, or whether my video comes up in your subscription feed, or doesn't in some cases. But either way, something to do, something to make the world maybe a little bit of a better place. I mean, there's lots of other ways to do that are more meaningful, but it's my small contribution. Because you guys, I mean, if you are somebody who's watching, you make videos. Dollar to Donuts, I watch your videos pretty regularly, and they have made a huge difference in my life. So I'm just following in your footsteps. There are so many great people who have gone before me. So let's see, that was probably enough of a speech about that. If that's what I say when I get 57 subscribers, can you guys imagine what kind of a speech I would give at, say, 100, or, dare I even say it, 1,000? I mean, I would never stop talking. I'd be talking for like 3 years straight. It'd be a problem. So if you're watching this, don't subscribe actually, because that'll just be too long of a speech. You're contributing to a problem. So just watch and scoot along then. So anyway, let's talk about the actual decorations. I did a lot of distress ink this time because I like distress ink. It's fun. It takes forever, but it's a fun time. And I mostly use the one that's called, like, I almost said soiled linen. That's not what it's called. Those of you who know, you know. It's like the light yellow one. It's just, I think maybe as you work with distress inks, you get an eye for what colors will work the most naturally with certain pages and with certain spreads. And so I found that one worked really well with my Markings by C.R. Gibson pages. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that I love that freaking notebook, so that's the one that I'm in. So I used a lot of that, and I think I'm kind of getting a feel for like which ones I'm going to use the most, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel like a drive to, I have to use them all equally. No, I'll just use the ones that I like the most, and the other ones will be for special occasions. I haven't even touched the forest green one yet, which I know is sacrilege. I happen to know that there is someone who is probably watching this video who would very much like to see the forest green one used if it were hers. Not naming any names, but I do like forest green. I've kind of been saving it, so don't come for me. But yeah, so I wanted to do some collage as well. This is like an old coffee recipe book from the used bookstore. They have so much good ephemera there, so much good journaling stuff at like crazy low prices. And I was just there the other day, and I was thinking to myself, I'd like to buy all of this. And then I stopped myself because I remember that, I don't know, it's a really good deal, and I feel like people who are maybe, with the pandemic and everything, struggling, or maybe a little bit younger, or, trying to get their hands on some stuff at a good price, maybe I'll just, I have plenty of things. I don't want to be, I'm trying to think of an analogy, can't think of one. I don't want to be greedy, basically. I don't need to have all the good things. Other people are going to use them and have a good time with them. So yeah, that was my selfless act. You don't have to all rush to thank me at once, that I didn't buy up all of the ephemera at my used bookstore. But I really hope somebody does get it, who really is going to enjoy it a lot and get some good use and inspiration out of it, because I found that this old ephemera that I do have, 1 or 2 of them, have been really helpful in my journaling and making my pages look cool. And I use a little bit of magazine as well. I have kind of a backlog of magazines that I really need to get through. But the problem with the magazine image harvesting is that what I do is I see one and I'm like, oh, that would be good if I was journaling about X, Y, and Z. But like, I'm never going to be coming through a magazine while I'm writing. I just rarely, almost never write and journal at the same time. And then there with the stamping, I'm misusing the Crayola Colors of the World markers again. They're supposed to be for skin tones, but I don't draw people. So I was like, oh, this is a nice array of like skin tone hues and browns and creams and whatever you call them. So lots of different undertones too. So I was really enjoying making kind of naturey spreads with that. So that was like a $3 purchase at Walmart. So if you think that you would like a wide array of browns, I think it's really nice. A lot of us, let's be honest, are into brown. It's a neutral color. Everybody gets cozy with brown. And to have a large palette of different types of browns and like creams and off-whites, it's just something that'll go with almost any spread. And it's really beautiful and really affordable. So I've just been coloring those straight onto the stamps. And you're going to see that I had a bit of a hard time with stamps. Now, that may be confusing to you because stamping is something that most people learn in, like, I don't know, 2nd grade, 1st grade. It's not exactly rocket science, but look at that. I just couldn't stamp it correctly. I had a lot of issues with stamps this time. I think, okay, I have a theory. Theory in this case being a fancy adult sounding word for excuse. That the pages are so curved from the notebook being so full that the warped shape of the pages is preventing the stamp from fully coming into contact with the paper. Because the smaller stamps weren't as much of a problem. It was just the bigger, longer ones that went over curved areas. So, also I think that probably using washable Crayola markers as stamp ink is not the best thing. I kind of noticed that the ink kind of beads up on the stamp a little bit, and I think that prevents it from being distributed equally. But those ink pads I got, I think they were kind of a waste of money. I don't really care for the colors very much. So I've been trying to make these super tips work instead. If you have any tips for affordable ways to repurpose other implements as stamp ink, let me know. If you have something you have that works. I'm interested in that basically because stamp ink's not so interesting, not such good colors. So I've been using the Crayolas. I love that like greenish color there. While I was journaling, I actually was watching a YouTube video by Sarah Z, or as she calls herself, Sarah Z. Okay, communism talk again. But she does call herself that. In America, we don't say things like Z. But she was doing a video about, it was an old video, I think, and it was about this person who claimed to have written the My Immortal fan fiction. Does anybody know about all this? Unfortunately, I did. I did not realize how deep the rabbit hole... It didn't really end up being about the My Immortal fanfiction at all because the person she interviewed who had claimed to have written it had not written it and has a very... what's a good word for this? Rich online life is all I'm going to say about that. So all you have to do is type in Sarah Z My Immortal and you should get a video that's called something like The Author of My Immortal Emailed Me and Then It Got Worse. And I've really been enjoying her videos a lot lately. She is like really good at giving information in like a clear, like concise, well-organized way, but also entertaining. And her topics are just like internet stuff, which is basically my entire life anyway. So yeah, I really liked her videos a lot. And that one in particular was just, it seemed like something that belonged in a crack.com listicle. Maybe from back in the day when crack.com didn't suck. That would have been a good topic for them to include because they had crack.com. The reason I'm saying this is they had a listicle that was like the 10 most aggressively crazy places on the internet. Because I used to go to that website every day in high school. It was like the first place I'd go when I got home from school just to see what they had published, and they're so funny, great articles there. But it's really gone downhill since. But anyway, one of their websites that they listed as being one of the most aggressively crazy ones was this Buffy the Vampire Slayer forum from back in the day where it was just this one lady posting and replying to herself over and over again. It was just her alt accounts, the entire website. So that's kind of crazy. But basically it was a similar situation with this My Immortal author that Sarah Z was talking about. So if you're interested in things like that, definitely check it out. Also, that Cracked article, 10 most aggressively crazy websites on the internet, it's pretty good. There's actually some really fascinating ones on there. There's one website called Nobody's Home that actually is really inspirational to me as a journaler. Like, he uses a really fascinating form of web journaling that I've never seen anything like it before or since. Well, that's not true. There are a couple other websites like it, but not quite like it. I can't remember the name of the other one. It was like the God with the numbers. It's like the human something and it's spelled backwards. Some of you guys will know what I'm talking about. It's all internet lore if you're into that. But this particular one is it's more of like just a very weird diary that uses the internet as a medium through which to express himself and chronicle his life. And it's really interesting and interactive. So he definitely inspires me. I would love to make a project like that someday. But right now I stick to paper and stickers. Look at how cute those stickers are. I really like those transparent ones, and these are actually called washi stickers. These reddish flowery ones there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you're having a great day. Let me know if you have any videos you made. Drop them in the comments, and I will talk to you later.